Fingers crossed it will be ready in time for 3 o'clock today.
Before the news conference, Laura Allen, WINOL's environment reporter, prepares to pitch her story to the editor.
I'm just getting ready for the news conference in about 10 minutes' time. Thankfully, I've been and filmed everything already for this week. So hopefully, as long as they're happy with the footage and the news peg, then it will get approved. But it's a bit old in terms of flooding. It's not really that relevant anymore. It's generally just a clean-up operation. It's not generally about who's affected now. So I'm not sure if it will get approved or not.
At the beginning of the week, the reporters gather for a news conference to pitch their stories to the news editor in hope that their story will be approved.
But have we got more with the floods this week again?
Floods are sort of generally off the news agenda nationally, but they're still focusing on it.
Now Laura gets to share her story idea. She is determined to get this one approved.
With some residents and a councillor from the area.
Okay.
Got some really good footage of that down by the river.
To do this, she must impress the news editor and the other reporters. The more prepared the story is, the better the reaction will be.
It's still going on, but it's generally not as bad anymore. Whether it's worth still running with. What do you think?
Still run with it, I think.
The news editor will consider whether to put the story on the bulletin and offer her own ideas.
Seen as sort of like the clear up, but I think still use it. It just won't be probably high up in the bulletin, maybe. But it's still a good story. You've got everything pretty much done and dusted, so it's just putting it together really. So I think that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And with the go-ahead from the editor, Laura looks relieved.
I'm filming doing a flood update story in Easton this time, a different location to last time. But the weather's gotten really bad and it's affecting the camera, the camera's getting really wet, which is proving a bit of a problem for filming. We're just going to have to wait and see if it gets better just to see if we can even film anything this time really. But it's better than the colour it was before. Is it because it's so dark up there?
With the weather not on Laura's side, filming simple sequences and piece-to cameras seem to be a challenge.
Despite all the rain, it has actually worked out quite well. I interviewed 2 people down here, a resident and a local councillor, which is really good. Filming piece-to cameras and things actually come out really well.
But will she make the bulletin?
We'll just have to see how it comes out on the bulletin, but hopefully it'll be alright.
The day of the news bulletin has arrived. The presenter this week is Zina. Not only will she present the news, but she also has to write the script.
It's pretty stressful. It's my first time trying to script and present, so I've just got the links in, trying to edit them. Hopefully the editor will come in and help me go through it as well. And fingers crossed it will be ready in time for 3 o'clock today.
The production side of the bulletin work hard to hit the 3 o'clock deadline. The director this week is Nicole.
Really busy on production. We've got a coming up in the bulletin, so that's more graphics that we need to do. Headlines are coming on a little bit later than normal. Hopefully we go on at 3, but we've got a lot in the bulletin today compared to normal.
So I'm doing it manually.
With the 3 o'clock deadline looming, tensions are at their highest at this point.
This isn't going to work at all. Yeah.
10 to 2, we haven't got headlines done, we haven't got a coming up done. Basically, the things need to be recorded, which takes some time. Doing headlines and a coming up is essentially like a package that needs to be in the gallery, which isn't done. Not ideal at the moment at 10 to 2.
Zina arrives in the studio early to practice reading the script.
Are you okay? Yeah?
Important decisions about changing the script can still be made at this point.
Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cue.
And finally, filming of the script goes live at 3.
And they are big, and they will invade.
Recognition at last for the bravery.
The headlines are already pre-recorded, so Zina can relax.
AFC Totton on the comeback trail. And finally, another award for WINOL.
We do the hard work so you don't have to.
Hello and welcome to Winchester News Online. I'm Zina Al-Abaidi. An 82-year-old man...
The script is read off the auto cue, and if practiced before filming is live, reading this will become more natural for the newsreader. Laura Allen's flood story features in the news bulletin. All of that hard work paid off.
Where exactly has all this groundwater got left to go?
Just one of those things, we can't really do anything about it, and it's just surface water, but I'm a bit bored of it.
The production team in the gallery are in constant communication with Zina and the cameraman to put them at ease.
That's all for this week, but for more award-winning news, sports and features...
Presenting is nearly over and the director will soon give it the clear.
Brilliant. Well done. That's really well done. Okay.
Yeah, we're Thankfully it's done. It wasn't as bad as what I thought it would be. We thankfully got the links and everything done. And it went quite smoothly. So I'm very happy with that.
And you were considerate and sensitive to her feelings, and that will produce a better performance overall. So I thought that was really nice. But overall, it was a pleasure to watch. You were going to go on and do great things.
Yeah, it went really well. It was a bit rocky at start because we had a bit of an issue with the script, but luckily we did go out at 3 o'clock, bang on time, so that was nice. Yeah, Zina was a really good presenter. She did really well as well, so I'm quite proud of her.
And that's it. Everyone is happy that another weekly bulletin is complete. But they can't be happy for too long, as they will need to start planning for the next bulletin. On WINOL, every week the reporters produce a news package. This is simply the whole news story that includes video footage, voiceovers, interviews, and usually a piece to camera. Firstly, the reporter must keep their editor informed of what story they are working on. This usually takes place on Monday at WINOL, and it allows the editor to understand any editorial issues they might have with the story. To construct a news package, we need to get good pictures. Here at WINOL, we either use a DSLR camera or a JVC camera, and you must remember to use a tripod to avoid those shaky shots. In terms of how good you are with your filming does come down to experience, but there are simple things we can make sure that we can get right before we go out to film. And number one is to check that your equipment works. When filming on location, make sure you film as much as possible when you are there. There is nothing worse than coming back to the newsroom to find you don't have enough footage to do your voiceover, to tell your story. Also, film in sequences. These are basically filming the same thing at 3 different angles. So firstly, you would film your wide angle shot. Then you would film up closer and then closer again. This gives you enough footage to voice over and to edit with. Try to think about what you want your opening shot to be, as this will be the one that will grab your viewer's attention. Sometimes the best opening shot is one with the best natural sound, so make sure you get some natural sound on the tape too. You obviously need to get interviews to make your news story a story. Obviously, a lot of news stories will involve conflict, but make sure you interview both sides of the party to get balance. When you're out filming your interview, make sure you get some GVs. These are basically shots of your interviewee doing something, like typing or walking with you. These allow you to do your voiceover and to put on top of your interview. Sometimes the reporter may want to add a piece to camera. This simply is the reporter talking to the camera, what usually would have been a voiceover. Make sure that you get your piece to cameras as natural as possible. Sometimes by walking, that may help. The reporter will come back to the newsroom to edit their package. We edit our packages on Final Cut Pro. So simply import all of your footage onto a new event on Final Cut Pro. Then open a new project and edit together your sequence of shots that you have just captured. Insert your interview And remember that we only need about 10-second grab quotes of this interview. And then add some final footage to the end of your package to voiceover. And finally, you will need to record your voiceover. This is the important part of telling your story, so you need to make sure you get this right. The quality of sound is important, so use the radio studio to record your voiceover. Speaking slowly will usually help give you good pace.
WINOL, and then it'll be a bit easier.
In this two-shot, you can see the interview. I'm going to be the interviewer, and Liam is going to be my interviewee. There is a line between us, and the cameras must stay on the same side of the line so that all the shots will cut together. Getting the eye line correct is important. I'm looking left to right on the wide shot and left to right on the close-up shot. Liam is looking right to left, which matches the wide shot on the camera. If I cross the line and set up my cameras on the wrong side of Liam, he will be looking in the wrong direction. When we cut back to me, it will look like we are both looking in the same direction. This will confuse the viewer, and if you're not sure how to set it up properly, just go with a simple close-up shot of your interviewee.
Well, this week on WINOL, I'm the main presenter and also doing all the script writing with the help of Chris. I think my role on WINOL every Wednesday is basically working with each reporter, developing their links. So I should spend at least 10 minutes with them working on their links and making sure it's all right, all the facts are right, making sure everything's legal. Also working with production, I have to record or pre-record the headline links. Also prepare for any potential studio chats or any live studio slots with any other reporters. Normally we have to get the script in by at least 2:45, that's the deadline. It's very stressful today, really stressful. Hopefully we'll get the script in by 2:45. If not, it doesn't matter, but normally when the script's in we rehearse, so we're practicing the OOV links.
Of no confidence in the Vice-Chancellor. The vote is a major escalation in the union's campaign for higher pay.
This was the scene last week when lecturers gathered to strike over unfair pay.
Now, lecturers at the University of Winchester are voting as I speak on a motion for the removal of the Vice-Chancellor following her decision to take a pay rise.